ओम शिवाय गुरवे नमः शिवाय नमः ओम परमेश्वराय नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः शिवाय नमः ओम महेश्वराय नमः शंभवे नमः पिनाकिने नमः शशिशेखराय नमः वामदेवाय नमः विरूपाक्षाय कपर्दिने नमः नीललोहिताय नमः शंकराय नमः शूलपाणिये नमः खट्वागिने नमः श्रीविष्टाय नमः अंबिकानाथाय नमः श्रीकंठाय नमः भक्तवत्सलाय नमः भवाय नमः ध्रुवाय नमः त्रिलोकेशाय श्रीकंठाय नमः शिवाप्रियाय नमः उग्राय नमः कपालने नमः कामारये नमः अंधकासुरसूदनाय नमः गंगाधराय नमः कृपानिधये नमः भीमाय नमः परशुहस्ताय नमः मृगपाणये नमः जटाधराय नमः कैलासवासने नमः कवचिने नमः कठोराय नमः वृषांगाय नमः वृषभारूढाय नमः भस्मोद्घोलितविग्रहाय नमः सामप्रियाय नमः सुरमयाय नमः त्रय्यमूर्तये नमः सर्वज्ञाय नमः परमात्मने नमः सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनाय नमः विषये नमः यज्ञमयाय नमः सोमाय नमः सदाशिवाय नमः विश्वेश्वराय नमः वीरभद्राय नमः गणनाथाय नमः प्रजापतये नमः रंजनेत्र्यानुद्धृताय गिरीशाय नमः गिरिजाय नमः नघाय नमः भुजंगभूषणाय नमः भर्गाय नमः गिरिजन्मने नमः कृत्तिवासे नमः पुरारापये नमः भगवते नमः प्रभादिताय नमः मृत्युंजयाय नमः सूक्ष्मदनमे नमः जगद्व्यापिने जगद्गुरवे नमः चारु विक्रमाय नमः रुद्राय नमः भूतपतये नमः स्थानवे नमः हिरमुज्ञाय नमः दिगंबराय नमः अष्टमूर्तये नमः अनेकात्मने नमः शुद्धाय नमः शुद्ध विग्रहाय नमः शाश्वताय नमः गंडपरशवे नमः मृडाय नमः पशुपतये नमः देवाय नमः महादेवाय नमः व्ययाय नमः हरये नमः भूषदन्तविदे नमः दक्षाध्वरहराय नमः भगनेत्रविदे नमः व्यक्ताय नमः सहस्राक्षाय नमः अपवर्गप्रदाय नमः अनन्ताय नमः तारकाय नमः परमेश्वराय नमः अष्टोत्तरशतनामपूजां समर्पयामि ॐ फलताम्बूलं समर्पयामि इदं फलं मया देव स्थापितं पुरतस्तमतेन मे सफलाभाप्तिर्भवेत् जन्मनि जन्मनि अमृतानि फलानि समर्पयामि नमस्करोमि ॐ पुष्पमालिकां मालते मल्लिका देव नवानि कुसुमानि च महादेव प्रयच्छामि मालान्तां प्रतिकीटिकां समर्पयामि ॐ पुष्पमालिकां समर्पयामि नमस्करोमि पुष्पाञ्जलिं नमः मन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं हर नमः पार्वती पतये
Sri 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬. Namaskaram and Swagatam everyone. Before we get started, I would want everybody to be seated in their respective seats, please. And we'll start today's program with an invocation song by Dr. 𝓕𝓵𝓿𝓲𝓬.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. 𝓕𝓵𝓿𝓲𝓬, who will be giving the invocation song today. குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே, குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே, பொருள் நிறைந்த கவியமுதம் எனக்கருள்வாய், பொருள் நிறைந்த கவியமுதம் எனக்கருள்வாய், குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே. முருகன் உன்னை அழைத்ததுமே, முருகன் உன்னை அழைத்ததுமே, கஜமுகனாய் நின்றாய், முருகன் உன்னை அழைத்ததுமே, கஜமுகனாய் நின்றாய், குரவ குல வள்ளியை மணம் முடிப்பாய் ஒரு நொடியில், குரவ குல வள்ளியை மணம் முடித்த ஒரு நொடியில், குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே. குருபரனும் திருமாலும் திருக்கையிலை நாதனும், குருபரனும் திருமாலும் திருக்கையிலை நாதனும், அகில பல முனி போரும் வணங்கி நலம் பெற்றார், ஸ்ருதிலயமும் சொற்சுவையும், ஸ்ருதிலயமும் சொற்சுவையும் இசைலயமும் அளித்து, ஸ்ருதிலயமும் சொற்சுவையும் இசைலயமும் அளித்து, சுகுணமன சபையோரில் குறை களைந்த கௌரி சூத, சுகுணமன சபையோரில் குறை களைந்த கௌரி சூத, குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே, பொருள் நிறைந்த கவியமுதம் எனக்கருள்வாய், குருவருளும் திருவருளும் எனக்கருளும் கணபதியே. Thank you.
Today we are all very excited to be here to celebrate the first anniversary of Senthilkumar Foundation. And today is the exact same day when Guruji left his physical body but continues to live in every heartbeat of his devotees. Seeking his blessing, we'll get started with the rest of the activities for today. As we welcome Guruji, he needs no introduction. And Guruji has nurtured many charitable institutions and cultural and social activities and institutionalized thus to focus on a few. He was focusing on Vidya Seva and inspired many youngsters. Vidya Seva that brought healthcare and support to many of the poor people. Go Seva, he supported many of the organizations that were supporting sacred cows. He has been instrumental in founding 𝐼𝐹ocus, which is an NGO which takes up social work and contributing to Indian culture. Encouraging young talents who are interested in music and dance through Andhra Music Academy. 𝓕𝓲𝓭𝓮𝓸 Foundation, established by Guruji, publishes a monthly magazine with rare contents on history, contemporary society, focusing on relevant social, national, and international issues, including politics. Guruji also helped with building 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬 Mahalakshmi Ammavaru Temple at Bhimunipatnam with benign sankalpam to bring prosperity across the poverty-stricken East Coast of India. And the Senthilkumar Foundation, Inc. is a US-based non-profit organization established on the auspicious occasion of Ugadi and 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬 in April 2022. The foundation was set up with the inspiration from Sadhguru Sri Sivanandamurti Garu, who is an embodiment of peace and love, a Mahayogi and a great patriot who strived for the revival of Bharatiya and Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means something that's eternal, and Dharma means the application of the right principles in the right context, at the right time, and the right place with the right person. Now I would like to cordially invite Sridhar Guruji to talk a few words about Senthilkumar Foundation and Bharatiya.
Good morning, everyone. My name is 𝓕𝓾𝓸𝓷. Not just good morning, but good evening to people who are watching this live. I understand a lot of people from India have also joined us virtually, and some people across the country in US who will not make it today in person are watching this live. Greetings and best wishes to everyone. I have never been good with mics. Today is an important day in many ways. And one is about 2015, June 10th. That is when our Guru, my Guru, Sivanandamurti Garu, he left his physical body. And his so-called physical departure, he became more and more available to all of us. Like all of you, like many of you, I am also his devotee, and I look forward to his guidance more than ever. Since 2001 or so, that's when I met him, and it's been a good journey so far. I don't think he really left any of us. He continues to be with us. He continues to guide us from within. Any question you ask, it doesn't take too much time for him to respond in the most appropriate manner. Some of the answers that gurus give, we may or may not like, but that's an honest and truthful guidance. So it's important for us to follow. So coming to today's agenda and day, about a year ago, some of us got together and we said, let's institutionalize some of the activities that we have already been doing as individuals. Because it's important, some of the activities, especially those which are related to culture, cannot scale unless you have an institution. If you want to bring 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬 from Bharat to America, or if you want to take a lot of goodness of America to India, this can be done only when we institutionalize. As individuals, we cannot do that. So that's the reason why about a year ago, April of last year, we got together and we started working on a few activities. And it's heartwarming to see so many people get associated with it. From East Coast to Midwest to West, a lot of people. I'm happy to announce that I think today amongst us, as the day progresses, I'm sure people will come in. There are more than or around 100 people who have traveled across the country from California to Texas to New York to New Jersey to Buffalo to Wisconsin, Massachusetts, many places. Sorry if I missed any state. They've come exclusively to to be among us. I guess this is the true essence of the culture that is in us, that is waiting to come out and nurture. So with that, we have put together a few slides here. I'd like to go through it. This slide deck has basically 3 agenda items. The first one is the introduction, and then we talk about the organized way of some activities that we're doing, what the organizations are, and then the third one would be how we can work together going forward. So if you look at the current society in, be it in America or be it in any other part, we have made as a community, as individuals, as a society, and as a country also, we've made a lot of progress, scientifically speaking, innovations, material advancements, comforts, leisures, etc. But if you ask an individual a straight question saying, are you peaceful? Are you at peace? The response may not be very immediate. It will make a person think. So it means there is something lacking. Peace is lacking in many people for many reasons. Healthcare has advanced so much that it can now support a person to be proactively healthy, address the longevity of the person to live very long, but definitely not forever. But again, if you ask the question, you are a healthy person, but are you at peace? Sometimes the answer is not forthcoming. So, as individuals and society, we have a lot of challenges that I think we have gone through over the last at least 100, 150 years when it comes to material aspect of life. Primarily being many people, at least 70% of the people, I think, are very keen to advance materially, but when it comes to following one's own tradition, being in one's own culture, thinking about your long-term future. Long-term future is basically after you leave the body, what is your future? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 50 years you can plan. But can we really plan what happens after we depart from the body that we are in currently? Not many people are thinking on those lines. And there is one culture that speaks elaborately about this. as to how to plan your departure so that your next life, for those of us who believe in reincarnation, will be more at peace, will be more successful. And there are a few people, maybe 1 in a million or so, who are constantly looking for something called merging with God or divinity or liberation or emancipation. Many words have been given to the same concept, which is eternal peace. Peace which is not driven by any material acquisition. It is not driven by a success, nor it is motivation of failure. That peace that everybody is looking for, the knowledge of it is available in the culture that we belong to. So, as an individual and as a society, I think there are a lot of things that we need to do in order to get there. Why are we in this situation, if you ask? There are several reasons that many people can come up with. Why was I not nice to the person who spoke to me yesterday nicely? Because I had a memory of that person, that he or she was not nice to me 10 years ago. Such silly things are still bothering us. We have to come out of those pettiness. So, though the symptoms of not following our tradition and culture are many, but the root cause remains to be dharma or lack of it. Dharma, it can be described in many words, even if you write 1,000 books, maybe we'll only touch the tip of it. The scriptures, the Indian scriptures, the Shrutis and Smritis have elaborately covered what is a dharma, and what are the consequences of following each of them. So the root cause of current unrest in society, root cause for current unrest in the individual, and the possible way out seems to be dharma. This has been told by many individuals, like 𝓕𝓲𝓭𝓮𝓸 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓷, and many other gurus, many scholars, many yogis have spoken elaborately on what is dharma, how to be it. We probably do not have time to talk elaborately about what is dharma, but let us know that it is slightly more than righteousness. Righteousness is perhaps the closest word that can talk about what a dharma is, but it is little more than that. Guruji very nicely described in one sentence that dharma is the appropriate thought, appropriate speech, expression, and appropriate action to any stimulus that we receive, a compliment. So that appropriateness sometimes can be seen as an act of cowardice, sometimes can be seen as an act of violence in the case of Arjuna and Kurukshetra. But he was appropriate to take the right action. So appropriateness in thought, speech, and action is and the one that guides us as to how we need to follow and be happy is our inner voice. A lot of books, a lot of scriptures describe this elaborately as to how we need to be on the path of righteousness and dharma. But the final guide, the final litmus test is your inner voice. It's called chittam, it's called consciousness, not conscience. That inner voice everybody has, even a little 5-year-old child will have, and a very senior person will also have. Just that many times we tend to overlook that voice that is constantly guiding us, telling us what to do, what not to do in particular situation, how to think, how not to think, what to say, what not to say. We tend to overlook that. And that's what leads to suffering. That's what leads to lack of peace. That's what leads to, at a macro level, unrest between countries also. So, root cause is not following dharma and following adharma also. Sometimes when the voice tells us that don't do this, but we still do it because we feel it is profitable to us. We feel we'll be maybe a little more richer than what we are. We are forgetting the wealth, but we are following richness. So,
point I'm trying to make is if all of us as individuals every day can follow righteousness, can follow dharma by listening to the voice silently which comes from within, with the Guru's voice, the God's voice, world will definitely be a better place to live in. And following the dharma to a maximum extent, keeping the end goal of reaching God, these two, when we read them together, that is called 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬. And hence we chose that name for this event. Is it enough if we have once in a year 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬 celebration? And the tagline also, if you see, we call it celebration of introspection of righteousness. We are celebrating that we need to introspect whether we are being righteous or not. So it is not enough if we do this once in a year, we have to do it every day. I think the team will be worried that they have to take such events every day. No? As individuals, we need to sit back. As individuals, we need to sit back and follow the 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬. And it has nothing to do with a religion, it has nothing to do with a particular land or country. It is the way of living, it's a lifestyle. All right. I think I can. That's an indication that I need to move faster on slides. So, revival of Sanatana Dharma. Please take on the slide one. Revival of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana is an eternal culture. Eternal, which does not mean old. It means eternal, which means it has been there forever, and it will be there forever. It might reduce when we don't follow it, but it will not die. It will never die. And it is applicable to contemporary society and a future society even after 400 years. That is called Sanatana Dharma. Again, it is a-religious. It is set of values, set of systems, set of rules and rules. So the revival of Sanatana Dharma, revival of Dharma at the individual level starts with a sankalp. Sankalp is a decided thought, a will, a firm decision that from today I will be dharmic. From today I will not say, do, or say things or think about things which are hurtful to others. I will do things which are important for me, for my family, for the society, and for the country. I will dedicate my life to living like this. That's the sankalp that each of us need to take. So any kind of a revival in the society starts with sankalp, and that's how the word Santhilkumar also was formed for the organization. From the organization's point of view, I'll scan through this reasonably fast. So there are two organizations that all of us belong to. One is in India, the other is in US. Both of them have the same name, Santhilkumar. The India one was formed in 2021 with primary activities of Aradhana and 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 revival. Aradhana is worship, Vedic volition, Vedic worship. Revati is the nakshatram of Shivan Guruji. So there has to be some reason that we need to take to do a continuous, frequent, repetitive worship. And that we have taken as his star birthday. What happens, as slight digression, but what happens is when we do any karma, our activities, our actions go and get stored in the nakshatra that we were born into. And Guruji's activities that he did, we want to do our pranams to his activities, and by worshipping him on Revati Day, we are invoking him into our hearts and asking him to rule our lives and make us better individuals. So Revati Aradhana, the context behind Revati Aradhana is this. There is a sankalpa that briefly will play in one of these slides. It was in fact read this morning by priest 𝓕𝓼𝓲𝓬.
In India, in US, in UK, Canada, and perhaps in Sri Lanka and Nepal also, there are 163 temples that are reciting this 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 Sankalpa on 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 since about 2 to 3 years. This has been going on like a volcano, the good time. Second primary activity that we are thinking of that we are pursuing in India is revival of the 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝘁𝗵𝗵𝗏. There are places in India and other places where the great Maharshis of 10,000 plus years ago till 5,000 years have done their penance, and they provided the knowledge that is suitable for all of us. There are specific places, we call them kshetras. Just a mere visit to those places helps us to attain the peace that we would otherwise not get by doing our mundane duties. So we have taken this huge task, and a lot of people are joining us in this, to revive those kshetras, not from a tapas point of view, but basic facilities in those places. If those temples or those locations need anything from us, we are trying to help them by putting in money and doing the activities there. There are several Maharshis, as I said. We've identified about 40 of them, and we started from the alphabetical order, 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬. 20 places in India have been identified by the Indian organization, which is working to revive those kshetras. Typical ask from those locations is, help us with the structural changes of the place. By structural changes, I would mean somebody we need a 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 kitchen. Somebody says that the walls of our temple are broken, can you help us fix them? Somebody says we need a flower garden that we can procure all our flowers from and offer it to God and Gurudev. Some people said there is a pond which actually was used by Agastya Maharshi. There is documentary evidence of that. Can you help us restore it? Those kind of things. And there is a cave in Pushkar, Rajasthan, where Agastya Maharshi is said to have done a lot of penance several thousands of years ago. And that cave needs some help. The pathway, a door, probably a dhyan mandir and things like that. So we are working very closely with them to help them get to where they want to. So these are the typical kind of activities that are going on since 2021 in India. And in US, a similar name organization was formed last year, April 22. Primary activities here is Vedic worship. Like I said, 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 is going on in India. We have been doing 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 in US also. On that day, or the weekend of 𝓕𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬, we do every month 𝓜𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬, and once in a year we do 𝐵𝗵𝗵𝗏. Again, the sankalpa that we have taken for certain certain objectives gets strengthened when you do a yajna or a home. So that's the purpose behind doing these homes. So far, we have done about 43 homes. Now you might wonder, if you started in April 22, and if you're doing this monthly, how did you finish 43? 43 because as individuals, we were doing this from 2019. We started the first one, I remember, in Smt Vidya Vodnala in Pennsylvania. The first home was done there. We took the sankalpa there in presence of Dakshinamurti. And then we got back home. And from then, every month we have been doing it continuously. We have support from great priests and temples who are helping us to do this. Second activity that we are doing here is research. I don't know if there's a detailed slide. Yeah, I think there's a detailed slide in research. I'll speak more about this there. We have also conducted some knowledge sessions. Basics about Panchangam, what is Ayurveda, and then Yajna Prakriya. These were the 3 topics that we have taken. These are virtual sessions that we do. People log into Zoom and they listen to the experts in their own fields. We invite them and they speak. We have also printed and published, not published, we have printed and circulated 3 books. 𝓤𝓵𝓸𝓷 Guruji had written some of those books. So we work closely with the organization in India called 𝓤𝓵𝓸𝓲𝓬, and thank you to them. They have been kind enough to give us, authorize us to sell those books in the US. We have launched a book on Sri Krishna, a book on ancient India, and a book on structure of the universe. Another important and key thing that we want to do is we want to look up to people who have lived in other land and did not let go of their traditions, religion, and culture. They are our role models, they are our inspiration, and it is important for us, not for them. It is important for us to listen to their words, what is their message to the next generation. And we want to felicitate them on a continuous basis, year on year. This year is the first, and we are calling them 𝓕𝓵𝓗𝓸 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓷, named after the memory of 𝓕𝓵𝓗𝓸. This is the first, and I'm glad that we are able to do this. Some charity work was also done. Excuse me. So some of the board members' names are listed here. Yes, excuse me. Not just so from a structure point of view, since we are working as an organization, it was important to have few people as members. But I have seen that each of us represent at least 50 or 100 more people when we put up these names here. There are so many people who are associated, hundreds of people wanting to contribute, wanting to put their efforts, wanting to help us do the right thing. So thank you to all of them. So this is the Aradhana Sankalp that was written down. It's a 3+ minutes audio, but for the sake of time and agenda of the day, we'll just play a minute or so. But essentially, it's in Sanskrit. It essentially talks to protection and progress of all species, not just individual human beings. Increasing compassion towards people, protection of Bharat and Sanatana Dharma. And about enemies and enmity, it's not about getting rid of enemies who do not like you. It's about getting rid of the enmity among people. So, Balaji, if you could play that song.
Shri Parameshwara Prithyaर्थम् अस्माकं गुरूणां संकल्पानुसारेण आस्मत् हिमाचलान्तरवर्तिना आर्यावर्ते पुण्यभूमौ स्थितानां भारतीयानां नेतृत्वेन सर्वेषां भूमण्डलवासिनां प्राणिनां सकलविधक्षेमाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् राष्ट्रे अस्मिन् राज्ये
So these are the places where the lights, the blue lights that you see, all those temples, this puja is going on.
भारतदेशे सनातनहिन्दवराज्यानां पुनर्वैभवप्राप्त्यर्थम् आर्षधर्मद्रोहिणां वैरिणां सद्बुद्धिप्राप्तिद्वारा हिंसाविदुष्प्रवृत्तिप्रणाशार्थं नास्तिकजनानां च धर्मविषये वैमनस्य निवृत्तिद्वारा.
Yeah, I think that's good. Thank you. So if you see the last portion was, it addresses the atheists also. I mean, we're all human beings, right? It doesn't mean that only those who believe in God need to be spoken to. We need to address people who do not believe in a system of religion, that's fine. But as far as it comes to dharma, please don't do things which are adhar. That is the prayer. And every day when we recite this, it gives strength to that sankalp. Coming to the next one, research. This is a very important activity, I think. that we should all pay attention to. What we are trying to do is, across the country in America, we are identifying the libraries and museums which have the knowledge or artifacts captured with them. And we want to create a digital catalog of all of them. Let's say in Yale University, in particular Isle, there's a book which is 𝓕𝓾𝓼 written by, interpretation of 𝓕𝓾𝓼 written by certain scientists. We would like to make a catalog of it. We'd like to write it down saying this is where it is. And then popularize that to the communities outside. So when people come to visit Yale, as an example, they should be able to go and look at that book. So I have oversimplified what we are trying to do, but that gives a taste of what the attempt is. Across the country, in all the libraries, in all the museums, we will be identifying, popularizing and publishing the ancient Indian knowledge and artifacts that have been captured. In a sense, that's what it is. Values of this have been made out in 4 distinct phases. Not necessary that we will go like this, but the last one is important. Vedic perspective to contemporary society. So Vedas, as you see the chart on the right side, these are scriptures. I think it's pretty small. Okay, thank you. So these are the scriptures that we have, Shrutis and Smritis. And then under Shrutis there are several texts, under Smritis there are several texts. All of you know what these are. But what one attempt in terms of value to the community, what we want to do is to work with scholars who have read Vedas, work with intellectuals who are currently in the field of science, medicine, technology, cosmology, bureaucracy, etc., and see how the Vedas have already spoken about it. There could be certain learnings that can happen from them. We need to build a bridge between the ancient knowledge and the wisdom that was given to the contemporary and even future societies. So this is a Herculean task, but I think we will get there if we work together. I will make a passing mention about, so there is a, when we started to work on the Sankalp, when we started to do homums regularly, we brought a 𝓕𝓼𝓭𝓮𝓸 home from the banks of Narmada. There's a village, I forget the name, but there's a village near Narmada banks that does sculpting of Shivlingas from Narmada. Narmada, as you know, is a very powerful spiritual river for many reasons. So there were deep sea divers who went in and brought out the linga. We brought it to US. And just like any other temple, we did the invocation. We did consecration as per the Agama Shastra. And then several adivasas were done. Jaladivasa, Dhanyadivasa, Pushpa, Phala, and Shayana. Over a period of 21 days. A lot of people got involved there. It was done by priests, so scientifically it is the correct way to do it. But it is at home, it's not at temple, we keep it at home. There were Mandala Pujas also done there. We've given this linga a name. The name is 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝗁 Sri Vidya. 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝗁 is primordial. We are saying Shiva is Guru, 𝗕𝐴𝐵 Guru is the common term. So what we are trying to say is, we have invoked Shiva as a Guru in this lingam. So this is at home, every day worship happens to it. And as I said, monthly 𝓕𝓼𝓭𝓮𝓸 𝓟𝓻𝓸𝓚 happens to this particular Shiva. Right. This is, I think, my concluding slide. I may have overshot, but there are several ways we can work together. First is the Sankalpa that we have taken up. We would encourage those of you who are interested. If you could learn what it is, if you could recite that at home also, I think it will make a lot of difference. When there is a combined effort of 1 million people, it makes a lot of difference to the society and its peace. Participate in the knowledge sessions. There are various topics that we are thinking of coming up with the knowledge sessions. For example, Vastu Shastra, we are thinking. Somebody can come and speak to that, and some of us can learn. So either as an audience to consume the knowledge or as a speaker, if you have any specific knowledge base that you want to give us, please reach out and we'll be happy to work with you. There are several authentic Sanatana Dharma scriptures out there. We would like to bring them to public. So if you know some place or some document which has authenticity and meaning to the contemporary society, if you can bring us, we will ensure it goes to the market and a lot of people can read that. Third is contribute through your skills, efforts, and monetary also. We are slowly getting into social media, slowly using the YouTube, website, Instagram, Facebook, and those kind of things. So the younger generation might know how to use that better. The only reason I go to Instagram, I have been forced to create an Instagram account. And the only reason I go there is when my daughter asks me to like her post. So that is our knowledge as far as Instagram is concerned. So I'll request those experts to reach out to us and we can work on how to make it better. Basically, to tell people as to what work we are doing, we need these platforms. And then participate in research and 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝑗𝓵 revival. Research, as you may have seen, I would have loved to dwell deeper into what we are planning, but we do not have time. About the research in America and 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝑗𝓵 revival in India, if you want to get engaged, this is, as I said, a huge effort, and 1 or 2 people or 10 people cannot pull it off. We all need to get together and do this. So with that, I'll close. All the efforts, I mean, this is just one organization. There are several people, individuals, organizations that are doing similar work. Nothing is unique about us. We are one among many drops in the ocean. But all of us, if we work together, I think even if about 30% of the population, world population, becomes dharmic in their thought, speech, and action, within about 10 years or so, I think we will see a major difference in the society. So 2032 is the goal that we have given ourselves. A lot of good things should start happening. We don't need to wait till then, but we have to work hard towards it. So thank you very much, and thank you for coming.